Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Crypto Metal Markets Report. Beginning of the week, it's Monday the 9th of November. Looking at gold today, we've obviously, since the some degree of certainty has come out of the election, managed to get that prediction wrong, but Biden should be good for gold. So he's going to be printing a lot of money, doing a lot of things from a social point of view, which is going to cost a great deal of money. So money printing certainly is going to be the route for him politically. There may be some issues in the Senate depending on what happens when all the counting's finally done, but whichever way, they're going to have to print money, which is weakening the dollar, and that's good for gold, it's good for silver. And we saw obviously the breakout on the back of that last week. It broke out of this channel. This is the weekly chart. The channel broke out very strongly, and we're now sort of in this area of resistance. We need to break through this, obviously, to get to the previous highs over $2,000. So that's pretty much the target for gold. If it doesn't break through this resistance, then it'll probably trend down back to where I assumed it was going to get back down to this white dotted line, which is 1794, 1800-ish dollars, even if it's a wick down. But it's looking less likely now, and like forecasting the weather, you need to change your mind when the facts change. So here we have some strong momentum in gold and some weak momentum in the dollar. So let's take a look at the dollar. Okay, here's the DXY, the dollar basket of currencies, and as you can see after the last video, it has broken out downward trend and it's seeking out the previous lows here at 91.73. If it breaks down there, which I think it could well do, it's got a long way to drop if we go back and have a look at where it was previously. Okay, the previous lows, and this is a monthly chart of the dollar index, takes us right back down to 88, and it's fairly probable we'll head down there depending on currency printing in America. This will certainly weaken the dollar. So yeah, if we look back in time, and we always tend to look left here to find out what's gone on in the past. We had a low printing at 70 here, and that was in the fallout in 2008 with QE1, QE2, etc. It brought the dollar down, so it really ramped down. We would expect this to be having a similar effect over the next few months. So we'd be looking at trading down certainly by the end of the year, past this line of support, depending on obviously the inauguration of the new president and how soon he gets his new strategies and policies in place. So that's not looking great for the dollar long term, but it's looking really good for gold and silver. And let's take a look at silver now. Okay, here's silver, and this is a long-term chart on a monthly basis. And as you can see, we've had a breakout, retracement, and breakout again. We're at the levels we haven't seen really currently since the previous highs. And the previous highs took us right back to sort of February 13 levels. And if we look at the bull market and what happened before it took off, we saw this sort of meteoric rise from sort of $8 up to $49 nearly. 49, nearly $50, and a very quick retracement. A lot of predictors are suggesting that we're going to go far in excess in this bull market of $50, and that remains to be seen obviously, but there's certainly going to be enough momentum with the dollar printing, and silver is always the volatile cousin of gold, so we could see quite a few down months as well on this journey up. But we need to print above the previous high. So let's look at that in more detail. Okay, so here we have the breakout. What I've done is I've looked at previous kind of resistance here. We've had, the last couple of attempts. It came off yesterday around the $26 level, and it needs to close above that to obviously get on to the previous highs that we saw back up here at 29.85. We are looking at potentially breaking out of that today with some good strong momentum. This bull flag is definitely in play here. We've had a pretty strong breakout. I'm possibly some profit taking could bring it down to 24.50 and bounce off this kind of level here. But I would expect, depending on momentum, when the American market opens, there's probably going to be a lot of euphoria over there and realization that the dollar is weakening, and that's only going to carry on, and people are going to head to safe assets like gold, like silver, and like Bitcoin. So let's have a look at the cryptocurrency as well. Okay, we've got the daily chart of the Bitcoin and its performance. It's in this kind of new channel now. We've had this kind of rising channel, and it's quite a mature sort of channel for Bitcoin compared to previous bull markets where it pretty much took off and there wasn't a great deal of pullback. We've got a lot more people involved in this market now, particularly when it looks at like of PayPal, Square, DBS Bank, and many others. The Grayscale Trust in America is buying a lot of Bitcoin. PayPal and Square took nearly 2 billion in the last third quarter. So, this is going to have a supply issue in the next few weeks and months ahead. There are stories of Bitcoins that have been lost, and so the actual supply isn't really known. And we do know that the supply isn't going to grow any more than 21 million Bitcoin maximum, and that isn't going to be for some considerable time. So there's about 18 million in circulation or out there being lost. So the supply isn't growing, and you've got some very big pockets, billions of dollars available to purchase this asset and trade with it. And companies like PayPal are going to want to be buying it at these levels in order to stock up to utilize it in their product that they're launching in January. So they're going to be able to trade Bitcoin, and this is going to only support the price, in my opinion. So we're going to be in this channel, and there are going to be some large sellers out there, whales if you like, that have got quite substantial holdings of Bitcoin, but they have to get them out of wallets and into exchanges in order to trade them, and that can be seen. So it has this clarity, and you can kind of see what's going on, which is what I like about Bitcoin, which you don't get in any other market really. So the benefit of cryptocurrencies, and specifically this one, is that clarity, and the fact that it isn't regulated by any one country or central bank, so no one can control it. So this is going to go up, it is going to burst through here, and we are going to see much higher highs over the coming months. Predictions are in probably north of $20,000 in the first quarter of next year, and if we do get some big buyers coming in the next few weeks, we could see that before the end of the year quite easily, and it's not impossible to consider that. So don't want to get too excited about it, but I do expect a pullback, probably to touch these kind of areas on this rising trend line before it presses forward. But it really does depend on what comes out of America and what the population will think about their currencies. So all over the world, whether it's England, Italy, Germany, Europe in general, and certainly the United States, Japan and Asia, everyone is printing money and devaluing their currency. So there is this flight to safety, there is this flight to hard assets like gold, like silver, like Bitcoin, and also base metals. Let's take a look at those. Okay, if we take a look at energy and uranium metals initially, what we can see is that we've had this is a monthly chart, we've had a couple of down months, and we're beginning to see an upward trend here. The level it got to, the lowest point was 675, and we've kind of doubled from the low nearly. So if you look back to the left and you look at the highs, the previous highs of uranium, it was 134. So we've got an awful long way to go here, and potentially with the policies of the American government and clean energy and many other countries around the world, a lot of people are going to be looking to generate energy in a clean way for the environment. And although there's some question marks around nuclear energy, it is very clean for the environment compared to coal and other energies. So it's one to keep your eye on. I'm certainly going to look at this closely. If we zoom into a more recent chart and more accurate, let's have a look at that. Okay, looking at the daily chart with uranium here, what we're actually looking at is basically what we call a bullish bat, which is a Fibonacci situation. If I draw this out, you can probably be able to see a bit clearer. So this is a bullish bat, and I won't do the fib retracement here, but I've done this before, and it basically is a predictor of the markets going up. First target is actually around this level here, so we're aiming to get to around the 1135 level, something like that, something in that region. If it gets through there, then we'll be pushing on to sort of 1250s and at the top of this bullish bat. So something to bear in mind, something to consider, but it's looking quite bullish. It's still a bit early to get in there, but the miners are very cheap, and now is the time to look at miners, and we have a number of these in our portfolio which have been researched. So if it's something you're interested in getting early in the next bull market after the precious metals, then this one is beginning to start to hot up, and now is the time to be looking at it. Moving on to copper. Copper we discussed, it's pushing on. It's had a touch at this high at 321, and it's now pushing back up there, and it's quite bullish. And again, with American policies, electric vehicles around the world are being produced in quantity, and they need an awful lot of copper for electric products. Some of the miners we've got, which covers a great deal of the base metals, energy metal market, I've got some amazing potential, and it's something for our portfolio holders to benefit from. We've started getting into some of these rare earths as well, and we've started to see some double-digit returns in the last month. So it's something that you ought to be looking at for your portfolio over the next decade. We are entering a very strong bull market in commodities, and with inflation being increased throughout the world through the debasement of currency, that is going to push these markets over the next few years a lot higher. So that's been the Crypto Metal Markets Review. I hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, obviously contact us on our email included below this video. Please hit subscribe, and we'll be putting out these market reviews and other things as well, which are quite exciting in the pipeline, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Take care. Cheers. At cryptometalresearch.com, we have a number of services to educate and inform you on how to benefit from the financial reset in this massive bull market. We fully expect our portfolio to return multiple double digits in the huge financial reset we're going through. The risks are high, but so are the returns for those with industry connections. We have years of trading experience to support you during your journey. Our services include Crypto Metal Premier, a full done-for-you service for the time poor who see the massive potential of having your assets realigned to benefit from the next big investment boom. We do everything for you so you can sit back, relax, and watch your assets appreciate. Crypto Metal Partner, a done-with-you educational service for those who want to be involved and learn how to benefit from this massive opportunity and receive signals of when to get in and out of your positions to maximize your profits. Crypto Metal Portfolio, a do-it-yourself solution so you can learn and apply the portfolio to your investments directly without any support or assistance. Crypto Metal Pulse, a signal service direct to your inbox as and when the market dictates, combining decades of technical analysis trading within your broader crypto metal portfolio. Crypto Metal Personal, a virtual one-to-one for those who want to know more, want to discuss their personal situation, and investigate what cryptometalresearch.com's investor education can do for you and your financial wealth.